Google Earth maps the Earth by superimposing satellite images, aerial photography, and GIS data onto a sphere. It allows users to see cities and landscapes through digital representation of their reality. This is a result of stitching together millions of images and videos that capture users' surroundings and daily life. Google Earth is a collective platform where everyone participates, willingly or not, and thus becomes a cartographer. It is various in nature. Everyone brings their own way of seeing. Since Renaissance, perhaps even long before, architecture has been centered around human body. But we do not have the same understanding anymore. It is now technology that sits at the center, and everything revolves around it. These data-driven maps become absurd for humans, but clear for machines. What is a map today? Its content constantly expands, in the form of electronic information, stored and ready to access by the touch of a finger on any personal smart devices. Users today consume data as knowledge. They constantly search for real-time maps of airplanes, shipping tracking, cryptocurrency exchanges, darknet, but also Instagram feeds, Snapchat's moments, daily commute routes, and so on. Our intention lies in tweaking the software, in search for an alternative understanding of reality. Perhaps data and digital reality can give us a glimpse of the world we live in. You are the user now, looking at patches of Venice, scanning Google Earth, and GIS-based 3D models. Geographic Information System is designed to capture, store, manipulate, and present spatial or geographic data. This system produces geometries that are sometimes highly detailed, and some other times primitive geolocated rectangular boxes, with aerial images applied as surfaces. We became interested in the architectural abstraction made through these systems. How can we provide a novel ways of seeing and experiencing architecture? Some kind of digital phenomenology. 20th century artists such as Kazimir Malevich have worked on these problems. Malevich reduced the complex architectural urban fabric into his Malevichian shapes by representing the city from above. Seeing from above suggested new ways of seeing. We became interested in other possible ways of seeing, which includes seeing through, below, or in between exterior and interior spaces, as well as seeing through things. In Venice, San Marco Plaza is known to be one of the most photographed places on Earth. This iconic plaza became a digital reality, a territory oversaturated with billions of images. The birds, tables, and chairs are bestowed with an equal importance, as we switch from our eyes to those of small living organisms, or even sometimes to urban-scale objects. This switch from one to another changes the scale, thus provides us with a new experience of the city, through eyes of objects that most characterize the city. Historically speaking, maps were not made merely for navigational purpose. Often they were means of conveying a meaning, with various techniques that give importance to monuments such as cathedrals and towers. This was done by the exaggeration of form, foregrounding or backgrounding specific buildings. The depiction of Venice on maps is closely tied to the shift in the representational mode, which is borrowed and recomposed endlessly. This creates strange aesthetics that provide us with novel perspective on Venice's cartography. That shift from manual to digital makes it possible for us to see architecture from various technological points of view, sections and axonometric views, to which we do not have access without the help of technology. We will look at Venice through these new conventions that were created by that shift in architectural representation. This fluid section through the scanned surfaces accommodates a sense of occupancy. Architectural promenade is a central idea for modernist architect Le Corbusier. In the early 20th century, it suggests that architecture is experienced as one roams about in it and walks through it. One of the questions that we raised when contemplating on the architectural promenade in virtual reality is, how can architectural promenade be experienced in such environments where the laws of physics or any rules that reflect our physicality can be manipulated? With a click on the controller, one is granted with the access to see all objects, whether near or far, from the standing point or through the obstacles, meaning walls, floors, roofs, that normally limit our eyes to see only the interior and exterior at once. It is not the structure of the building that dictates the way we see and experience, but it is rather the user's choice in the digital environment. The users are no longer passive when roaming about in the space and walking through it. Umberto Eco once wrote about on the impossibility of drawing a map of the empire on a scale of 1 to 1. He always confronts the fact that any attempt to do so makes the map unfaithful because of the unpredictable and ever-changing nature of the empire. In order for the map to be faithful, it must be constantly updated in order to reflect such changes that take place in the empire. Today, Venice in the digital world offers endless layering of live update patches and user interactions. The city does not sit still on the grid anymore. The grid rather hovers above the city and becomes a fishing net, filtering our data in real-time basis across parallel representations.